I'm a llama.
What's going on, YouTube world? My name is Jason, aka Mr. Llama, the not-so-better half of The Lazy Llamas, which is the eBay store that I run with my wife, Mrs. Llama. And today I'm just doing a short video on how to tell if an item will sell well on eBay. So, no funny clips today.
We have a clip. No, don't show it.
Okay, so maybe a few clips.
Such a kidder.
Okay, so in a previous video, I had given a tip about doing your research as a new seller to make sure that you're going to have items sell quickly. And to be honest, my information was a bit lacking.
I really expected more from you.
And since this is very important to new sellers to be able to tell whether or not an item is going to sell quickly, I decided to do a dedicated video to this subject.
That's dedication. That is dedication.
Okay, seriously, let's talk about how to tell whether or not an item is going to sell quickly on eBay so you can get it sold and get new items listed. Because as a new seller, you're going to be strictly limited to how many things you can list, so you've got to make sure that you're moving items quickly. We'll do something that I know well. Video games. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a comparison, okay? So we're going to look up a game on eBay. We're going to look this game up right here. You can see that. It's a Game Boy Advanced video Pokemon. We're going to look that up. So if you look over here on the screen, you're going to want to see how many are actually listed. It looks like 27 used ones, which is what's going to be our competition. You're going to want to see what they're listed at, okay? So you're going to see, if you scroll through, you're going to see they're listed anywhere from $10 to $14. That's our price range to be competitive. Then you're going to go to what has sold. And what you're going to want to do is see how many have sold in the last 30 days and how much they've sold for. Now, it looks like there's only been 5 that have sold in the last 30 days. So that's already a red flag that this is not a good item that's going to sell very quickly. Now, I will list this item, but it will probably sit for a while. Next, we're going to look up a game that I know is a hot seller. Every time I get it, it sells within a day. And that is Wii New Super Mario Brothers. This game, if you look it up here, you're going to see that there are several hundred, 700 or so, that are listed in the very good category, which is what we're going to look at, because that's usually the type of discs that I get, So we're just going to go with very good, and we're going to do a price comparison there. So you'll scroll through, and you can see they're listed anywhere from $25 to $30. Then you're going to go to your sold comps, which is what you're going to see what they're actually selling for and how many have sold. And as you can see, just in the last 2 days, there's been over 40 of these have sold just in the last 2 days. So I know this is a hot item. This is how you can tell it's a hot item. There are tons of sales just within the last 2 days. And so this is something that you could list and it's going to sell very quickly. The last one I listed sold within 24 hours. So that's how you tell. You look at how many are listed and then how many have sold in the last 30 days. That is a good indicator of how quickly an item is going to sell. Now, this principle is the same for any item that you want to sell on eBay. You'll just look up the item, make sure you're doing an exact item if you can, same model, color, size, if it's shoes or clothing. So as long as you can find a good comp for your item, you need to look up how many are listed in the condition that you're trying to list yours in. You need to know what they're listed for, like an average price range of what comparable items are listed for, and then you want to look up sold items that are comparable to yours and see how many have sold in the last 30 days and also how much they're selling for, because it doesn't matter what people are listing them for, it matters what buyers are willing to pay for them.
Paid sticker price and not a penny more.
Now, I could get into Terapeak, which is another research tool that eBay has for sellers to see trends and what items are selling for and sell-through rates. It shows things like how many listings are promoted listings.
Could you explain that to us, please?
Which is you pay an extra percentage for eBay to promote your items, which I've been using promoted listings here lately. I think I'm going to do an experiment and do a month without promoted listings and see if there's really a big difference. Because I just started doing it because I figured everybody else was doing it.
If all your friends jumped off a cliff, would you do that too?
And so I wanted to be competitive. But I am thinking I'm going to do like a 30-day no promoted listings and see if it really affects my sales. So I'll probably do a later video and let you know what the outcome of that was.
I look forward to it.
But Terapeak shows you things like that, like how many of your competitors' listings are promoted and how many of your competitors' listings are free shipping. It also shows you average shipping costs for that item, so you kind of know what you're looking at as far as the cost to ship the item. Terapeak will show you things like what are great opportunities, like what categories, and I think the top 2 right now are video game consoles.
Video games. Great men like video games.
And women's athletic shoes. which I have sold women's athletic shoes before and men's athletic shoes. They're both pretty good sellers. If brands like Brooks, Saucony, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Saucony
Gibberish.
is a good brand that I've sold before in the past and been able to flip for decent profit. And like I said, it depends on the style, the size, like all that stuff comes into account, but that's how you would look stuff up. You know, like I showed you before, if you found a pair of shoes that you were thinking might be a good flip, you would look them up the way I showed you. You would put in all the specifics you can into the search bar. It'll bring you up how many of those shoes are listed, what they're listed for. You would look at sold, see how many have sold in the last 30 days, and see if you think it would be a good flip that you could turn around quick. Some shoes sell quickly, some shoes don't. If you find a nice pair of athletic shoes at a yard sale for $2 or $3 and you look up a comps and it's selling pretty steadily for $40+, that's a good flip. Pick it up, list it, and get it sold. I think we're going to end the video here. If you got anything out of it or if you just enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave comments. I don't know if you've already started selling on eBay. Let me know if you found any good items that you think are hot items to sell right now, or if you found anything and made a really good flip, like you found something for $1 and made it a ton of money off of it. I'd love to know in the comments. And in case you didn't know, God loves you, I love you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.